Hey, so I've been asked a couple times to speak on man's role in postpartum care, the father's role in that. I'm pretty passionate about this topic. I have 4 kids, and the postpartum season has looked drastically different with each child. And some of them have been excruciatingly hard, and others felt kind of like a blissful honeymoon season. But each time I can tell you it was more work than I expected or that I even knew to expect as a father and husband. And I thought that I did know, like I was ready to do all this stuff, but I still did not have a good understanding. The first thing I would say is that postpartum care really starts well before the baby is born. I heard a woman quote one time, and she said, a woman in survival mode can't create new life. And I know that women in survival mode do that, but you do understand that a woman that's carrying around fear or anxiety, or if there's yelling and trauma in the house and things like that's all going on in her body while she has the baby. The baby's already making associations and feeling that through the mother. So your care and protection of the child starts before that baby's born. The other thing is that it takes much longer than I expected it to or that I knew it was going to. And so creating the real space where there is not urgency for your wife to get over it or to get back to normal is really important. And we live in a society that's going to push that. I mean, the man should have 9 months to a year off, and a woman should have at least a year to 2 years off, as long as she's nursing, really, which puts it at 2 years a lot of times, at least if she's nursing. We don't get that. The woman gets like 3 months at best, and a man gets like 2 weeks to be at home with his wife. And then it's just like, okay, you got to go back to being productive again and living. That is detrimental to everyone involved. And I think our culture, if we could change that, we would reap those benefits later on in well-adjusted adults, families that had stronger bonds, men that had stronger connections to their children, because men's hormones change when they have small children. Their testosterone goes down, and they have more of that connection and that intimacy. And then, of course, women have that bond of with oxytocin and everything else with their child. So, but here's one of the things: the wife, for men to understand, the wife is going to have so much less energy. I read somewhere it takes 30% more energy from the woman to create breast milk while she's nursing. So imagine operating at 70% energy and then also having to wake up several times a night. And then if you have other kids, having to take care of those other kids while your husband's at work. There is so much going on, not to mention the hormones are going to shift. So there's a lot there. Here's the other thing I would tell men is that your wife is going to have a little creature hanging on her all the time, and her body's going to take time to heal. So you need to be mentally prepared to put your needs aside for several months until you're not just waiting for her to physically heal before you come back and want intimacy, but you're waiting for the hormones to come back. You're waiting also for the emotions to be ready for that. And for us, with the first 2 children, it didn't take as much time, but with the 3rd and 4th child, it definitely took a lot longer for that to happen. And it was just a process. Like we had to ease back into our connection, like the physical intimacy part of being a husband and wife. So it's definitely really, really complicated. And I think as husbands, just allowing and creating space and putting like a protective hedge around your wife's time with that baby. And so that means you doing a lot of cooking, you taking a lot of that responsibility that she used to take, you doing the chores, the cleaning, the stuff with the other kids. You want to give her as much time with that newborn, that completely, utterly, and beautiful little dependent child that needs its mom like every second of the day. You want to create that bubble and that space for them. And that takes a big shift. You can't just incorporate that into your life. Like you have your career, your other kids, your relationship with her, and you're just going to squeeze another kid into it. No, fitting that motherhood bonding time with that infant in the postpartum era is a huge undertaking. And for men to really understand the depth of that, I think it's like no one told me that. And I don't think men are told that. And I didn't even feel like I knew it that well with our fourth child, but I learned it better the more I've thought about it. So anyway, if you haven't had kids, please listen to me. Please reach out to me and ask me questions. I will help you as much as I can. All right, that's it.